Welcome today to our stream. We are going to start off. It's another beautiful day where we are going to continue with the right coding of our apps until we make it continue today's day 12. We're continuing with another exciting stream. If you love the content that we put out, I'm going to call upon you to please subscribe and like our videos. Also, if you have questions, I'm going to call upon you to comment these questions in our chat so that we can be able to answer them promptly. We're going to continue with our platform that we've been working on, which is quite platform. So this is our platform, which is quite bolt. Let's continue and look at this is a platform that we've been working on. Well, it is a poor automation platform that allows poor companies to automate their daily workflow, which includes creation of technologies and sending them to clients with view over the corresponding communications with the clients, which is mostly done by emails. It also includes an element where they are posting out various safaris, and it also includes the tracking of various safaris that are already in play and making reservations in the safaris. So it is a fully automated system that entails all the processes that are done any work that is related to summary. So it is a true automation tool. When we look at most of the work that we've done, yesterday we worked on, mostly we were working on this itinerary. We are making refinements to it, and some of the refinements that we made, that when you come to these itineraries that were posted out, and then we click on them, and we look at how they are displayed. We find the logic of adding images to them, which is a very, very good display that we get with any Safari. But most importantly, when we came to setting up the detailed view, so we were refining the detailed view of these elements, which to me looked much more better in a way that was quite good in the way they are displayed, because we added icons to them. We fixed the element of adding images and picking them to the local storage, which was also added to our editor, the itinerary builder. This is how the images look. They are fantastic. They look good, which is quite amazing to me. Also, when you look at the various changes that we made, we ensured that these elements are aligned clearly, so that when you look at these itineraries and when you look at how you can be able to add various elements, because with these detailed itineraries you can be able to add a destination, you add various attractions that someone will see on these destinations, which are mostly you are seeing in the icons, and the other elements that you can be able to view here. It is mostly you're going to see highlight of the daily activities that someone is going to take on that particular day, and then there is also going to be an element of showing where they are going to stay and the meals they are going to have. So we are going to continue from here, and as we continue, we will take a look through other parts of our platform, which platform is really coming out very well. So I'm going to call upon you. We really are enjoying all the content that we've done earlier and the ones that we're going to continue to do, and you want to get access to it, please subscribe. When you subscribe to the stream, it is one of the most important things that we get as we are going on this journey. But also, you will be learning a lot of things. One of the things that you will learn is that you're going to get a glimpse of what we do. You're going to get a glimpse of what we do. But also, you are going to follow along, because I do what I do as I teach you whatever I'm doing and how I do it, which is quite very, very important for you to follow along. But also in the way, you get to learn a thing or two. I also get to learn a thing or two, but most importantly, you get to support the journey of building out various platforms until when we hit the tune of $500,000. Now, let's continue. What we are going to continue with, yesterday we worked on this, but what we want, let's go back here to the itinerary builder. So this is where we build the itineraries from that you've seen. Here, we wanted to add a functionality. Yesterday, one of the functionalities that we added, let's go to the stored itineraries. Let's go to that particular itinerary that we were looking at, this one. We added functionality to fetch this itinerary and maybe add on various days. And let's look at it. Where you add you add the icons from. So we've set it up in a way that is very detailed, because you can get icons from nature and scenery. You can be able to get icons from attractions. So it is a fully automated system. The way you can be able to set out these platforms is by identifying in various areas where they are having different daily activities that they do, and you can look into them and be able to automate these in a much more better way. So if you can do that for any business, then that is much more better. So I've added a day. I just want to check if this day was added, because this is a new day. Let's also add
step in the place, energy high. All the levels don't change. No more looking back at ground,
because this was the last functionality that
we only look at the sky. Burn like a flame, stay bright.
Yesterday.
Everything clear, we see light. Lift your hands,
fix this.
Touch the top, feel the heat. Never stop. Job life, we don't arrive. Long drum, make we come alive. Whoa, long drum, we come alive.
When you look at it and the change in the float, that does it. Because what we wanted to be able to make edits to already completed itineraries.
Magnet pull, we move fast. Make this feeling always last.
this has yes, this is the one that we just added the last day, which is quite good. So that means that functionality was set up. But when we were attempting to make these changes, something was left out because we wanted to add an element here where we can be able to search out those particular itineraries. We wanted an element where we can be able to search out those particular itineraries and use it as a template to create a new one. When we save this new one, it's just going to be saved as a new one, not an itinerary. So let's go back here. Look at this. So we already have the work through. I'm going to choose a request. So now what we are going to do, what we've sorted out is the functionality of editing the stored itineraries. Now, inside the itinerary builder, please add the reference button at the top card that holds the details of the title and the search bar. So now, configure it the way that you have it in the implementation plan, where you can be able to search out various reference itineraries, and then when we add this reference itinerary from the model, the drop-down model, you can be able to use it as a template, but it will be saved as a fresh itinerary. So the other functionality of the editing the stored itineraries has been set up very well, so no tamper with it. You're just going to work on the reference itinerary functionality or logic in the itinerary builder install. Now, when you are making when you are adding logic for this particular functionality, I want you to ensure that you do not tamper with any other logic that we've already set up in these itinerary pages. The rest of the logic remains the same. What you're going to do is that you're going to focus just on adding this element without distorting already set up logic, which is very important.
Every day, no more walking for the dark. We just fly.
So now what you're going to do when it comes to the layout of the implementation plan, I want you to follow the master file structure that I've given you to make an implementation plan which I will approve, and then we will proceed to setting out this functionality. But ensure that when you are setting out this functionality, do not tamper with logic that you've already set up in this particular screen. What we are trying to do is that we are trying to add an element here where you can use the already done itineraries as a reference. Remember, certain clients come to these tour companies and they're asking for itineraries that they are used already. So we are using drop them to the editor and be able to custom the work, make a few edits in these days, and for the details that have been requested by the clients. So we're trying to cut down on their work, but to ensure that they get access to the other ones that are stored. Yes, they can edit them. They can edit that particular one, but we want this time around to use it as a reference where they can just pick it and use it as a full reference. Even if it has 17 days, someone can just reference it, put it there, and then make changes to those days very fast and be able to put out an editor, which is a better practice. So if you love the content that we put out, I'm going to call you to please subscribe to the stream, so that you can be able to get access to subsequent streams, which is much more better. So this is we already have the implementation plan. Let's look at reference context issue. It's going to add so in the notes section, emphasize that we are not going to make changes to any other logic that is already set up in this itinerary builder screen. We are only going to focus primarily on setting up this this functionality. So add that to the notes section of the implementation plan. Because it is very important that we don't distort any other logic that we've already set out. So add it to the notes section in terms of the constraint.
Lift your hands, touch the top, feel the heat, never stop. Chop life, giant, we don't arrive. Lock drum, make we come alive. Lock drum, jump, make we come alive. Alive, make we come alive. Money talk, we know they cap. Shake way for heart, we the top.
Let's add something very small to the implementation plan,
make this feeling always last,
which is very important because I want it to be added. Yes, a critical constraint so that it does not really distort any other.
Everything set, we the win.
Yes, so now it is set up very well. Let's proceed. The reason as why I'm very strict when it comes to the instructions, because sometimes when you don't even a structure of very fine instructions, then you're going to get challenges. One of the challenges that you're going to face is that you might be working on a certain functionality, and then given that everybody makes changes to these very code snippets that you have or certain components, it's going to distort some of the other functionalities that you have in your app, and that is going to take you to go back and do something that you've already done. So to avoid that, you just have to ensure that you give clear instructions that you want, which is very important. So let's go back and look at the instructions that we have. So this is what we have as the reference. We are still getting an error, which is good. Let's get this error. So we are going to get this error. let's go here. We are getting this error, but we also have this terminal log. So let's make a request here. So when you were making changes of adding the reference, when we try to access the reference button, we got this error that I've put above, and also in the problem sections there is an error that we already have. Without distorting logic, can you please work on looking into what is causing this error and being able to resolve it without distorting or removing any logic that you've already set up in our app. So let's work on this problem, and then from there we are going to proceed. So what we are trying to do, we are just trying to add a reference button where someone can access the previously done itineraries and then push them to the editor. We want to make this work very simple. Remember earlier when someone is really attempting to maybe set out his itineraries, it became a very huge challenge. It's a huge challenge. So, but when you have an editor that is really going to allow you input most of the essentials very fast, and being able to do this in less than maybe 5 minutes, it makes the work much more easier compared to how you had to spend hours and hours crafting itineraries for clients, which makes the work much more difficult. So now we want to check now that we don't have any error. Let's try to check. So this is how it looks. The background of the drop-down has a transparent blue, but I would prefer we get yes, you can be able to select one from here. Let's try with this. Maybe with this, let's add this. Yes, it has added these days, which is quite good, because these are the days that have been added from here. Day 5 is quite interesting. So we are just going to tweak it a little bit, make a few changes to it. Let's
see us how they flow. The fire start to burn deep inside. The tables start to turn from
now
our
what we're going to
side.
do, you've set up that logic, but we're going to make a few refinements to it. Some of the refinements that we're going to make is that I want you to ensure that with the drop down, currently the drop down of the elements, when you click on the reference, it is doable with all the documents, but it is kind of transparent. Before you click on any of those itineraries that are in the drop down, it is transparent. We need to make it white. Let's make it white. And also for the cards of the itineraries that are in the drop down, let's add the border radius of color black, so that we can be able to distinguish one card from another. We're going to add that. Also, we are going to ensure that when an itinerary is selected from the drop down, then it replaces totally. It's not adding on days. It's not adding on elements in the itinerary builder, but it is replacing all of the days that were there in the itinerary builder to populate its own days that it has already, according to how it was set out. So currently it adds on when you, let's say the itinerary build already had something like 3 days, so when you select it, it adds in all the other content that it has from its itinerary. Now the functionality should be that it should replace what is there with its new information. So this is these are the elements that you're going to add to what you've already done. Now when you're doing this, you're not going to distort any other logic that we've already set out in our app. And what I also want you to do is that I want you to follow this kind of prompt structure in this document.
Baby, tell me your last price.
And ensure that all the relevant instructions that I've given you properly set up in our implementation plan according to what that structure explains. So the reason as to why I mostly use this prompt structure,
I carry my load, I carry my bag, then I see for the shade.
Still dressed yellow
like ripe plantain.
So it's very candid, it's well structured. You get to give out the task, which is the main thing that we are going to work on. Then there is the context, which is the broad overview of what you're working on. Then what the issue could be, a particular issue. Then you get an example of what you're working on, the constraints which are under the next section, the persona, how would you want it to act. For this case, I would want Google Gemini to act as a senior Next.js and TypeScript, specializing in scalable architecture. Then the format, so it is detailed and it helps you to really get an approach that is much more better.
I know be that I be walker. I pay the price for your love. I pay the price. Baby, tell me your last price.
So for the case of the note section, please add that you are not going to distort any of the logic
but I only see your face, my lady. Only you make we bargain, make we talk.
We are only going to focus on the requirements that have been requested to add the note section. The reason as why I re-emphasize mostly that I don't want a scenario where we're making refinements to refine a particular functionality on the screen and then everything else is distorted. That distorts the work and it is not good. So let's it has set it out, so let's proceed in making these refinements. So currently what we had, we were fetching that this was transparent, but now we are getting this, which is not transparent element. It was completed working on this, so let's review it. So this is what I wanted. I wanted it to add it on this editor, and it has done it very well. It has executed this very well. So let's add a new day from here, or maybe from down here at day 6, and then I want to look at some things. I think it's what I wanted has been set out in a way that is okay. If you love what we are doing, please subscribe to the stream, and so that you do not lose out on the coming days, as we are going to continue to stream until when we make $500, and we are going to make that from various apps and various web apps and various mobile apps that we are going to build out. But we want you to be a part of this channel. We want you to see what we can be able to do, and we want also to demonstrate that everything is possible when you set out to do it mostly in building out apps that are users. And with that, we believe that we are going to effectively sweat they run for my skin. Set out carry my load, I carry my bag. Then I see for the shade. Silk dress yellow like ripe plantain. You know even look my style. You just the price they dry fish. I stand there like person we're lost. I forget within I come by. Because remember, this functionality was set out that when we reference certain day, then you can be able to set it out as a new itinerary. So here in the itinerary builder, you can be able to move one day and put it up on one day. So I just wanted to have this.
Mama said, I say customer come. I know you're waiting, she talk. I just look your walk. How much for your heart?
Then I'm going to
I get the cash, I get the grace,
so
no be smart in I carry for pocket.
You have to be able to view this as a separate itinerary.
I know be that I be walker. I pay the price for your love.
Here it is. This is what we've saved.
Baby, tell me your last price. I see the way you move for this song.
This is what it looks like. This is the activity that we added. I've not added many activities. So with the itinerary view, we have two views. We have this simplified view, which is quite simple. So if you're giving out to the client and you're in a hurry, maybe you can be able to use the simplified view. But if you want something that is much more detailed, and maybe you're sending it out to an agent, someone who is linking up with these clients, all the clients want to see a detailed overview, then they can be able to view this. So this is what we created. We refreshed an already done itinerary. We picked it up and then we added and tweaked a few things, and then we put it out, which is better set out.
We move always up, always up. Body move, no stopping, no stopping. Higher, we move always up, always up. We did rise together. We did rise together. We did rise together. We did rise together. Touch the sun. Touch the sun. Touch the sun. Touch the sun. One sound, one people, one people lifting, yeah. Always up, no stopping, no stopping. Higher.
So let's continue.
We did rise together. We did rise together. We did rise together.
What we're doing.
We did rise together.
we're going to change is that when it comes to this destination column, let's look at it. Yes, I think it's set out very well. Just let's go to this functionality that we have, which is meal plan. To look at that file. That file contains instructions of the meal plan logic that we are supposed to set out. We are supposed to set out this logic to ensure that what we enter in terms of half board bed and breakfast board. Builder and be able to correspond very well in terms of elements that are viewable on our detailed itinerary view. Look at the instructions that are there, and we are going to implement them and set them up into the new implementation plan. Please set up our implementation plan using the master prompt structure that I've given you in the master prompt document that I've also referenced. So what we are trying to change here, when we click on our itineraries, we have a functionality to choose either on that particular day the clients are going to go for bread and breakfast, half board or full board. But when the edge is afraid and the color is fading, but I see comes to the restored itinerary, the detailed view. This is very viewable here, but it is not set out. We need to ensure that it is set out that when that logic is set in, it appears very well here on the itineraries, which is quite important. So that is what we are trying to set out. And let's look at the implementation plan and how this is our implementation plan. I think it has picked it up very well. Learning that growth is a quiet kind of pain. I look the woman I've become but I see your influence. Yeah, I think the implementation plan is set out very well. The reasons why I review it much more, because I don't want to pan out tokens on working on a functionality that is not related to what we've given in instructions. So I always want to look at the implementation plan, and then if it is fine, you can proceed and be able to work on that functionality, knowing that it's not even going to distort what we've already set out, which is the most important thing to me. Let's continue with this edit and look at it. I think it has just made out a very small edit. Let's go here. I think with this I'm going to just edit the existing itineraries. Let me look at one that is distinct, and let's make edits to this one. We are going to select full board. Let's leave it. Let's take it at half board. Bed and breakfast. This day. Let's take it to full board. And breakfast. This one of camping, let's take it to half board. This one, let's make it bread and breakfast. So let's save and let's go here. This one we chose a breakfast, the first one. And this one we chose a full board. So with the full board we get the breakfast, lunch and dinner. Then this one we chose half board, 2 days. And this one breakfast, and then half board. This one breakfast. Now let's go back. Let's pick another one. This one I just want to put them all on a full board. All the days are going to be on full board.
We move, always up, always up.
Well, let's
Body move, body
put
move.
these, the rest of ones,
No stopping,
the rest of these ones at
no stopping.
half board. The last 3 ones.
We move,
I just want to check whether this functionality works very well.
we dey rise together. We dey rise together. We dey rise together. the sun. Higher, higher. One sound, one
So
people.
I think it works very well.
One people lifting, yeah. Always up, no stopping, no stopping. Higher. We will rise together. We will rise together. We will rise together. We will rise together. Higher, 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 higher. We move, always up, always up. Body move, no stopping. Let's rise higher.
So I'm going to continue.
I follow my own leg. No be person lead me go.
I think we've finalized with
Like water for the
the
mountain.
itinerary builder here.
See us at the flow. The fire start to burn deep inside. The table start to turn for my side. Yeah. I'ma see my levels now.
Now for the email tracker was set out. I think we're also going to first of all let it be.
My race I don't win now. Them say I no go make 'em, but my spirit ever strong. Yeah. I carry my own load. Now I know where I belong. The fire start to burn deep
We
inside.
are going to work on the
Table
itinerary
start to turn for my side.
reservations where we are able to.
I'ma see my levels now. Joy come like morning sun. Yeah. We dey chop life every day. Yeah. My race I don't win now. Yeah. I find my way.
Add several items, which is
Sweet
quite
life every day.
very good when someone is making reservations for
No more walking
their
for the
clients. Now,
dark.
for
We
this,
just a fly.
let's first check out this item.
Everything's soft now. Everything's sad. Everything's sad. Everything's sad.
Let me try to add a document. See? Maybe add currently we have the functionality where we can be able to make reservations several clients, but the document that has been added, when you click here, it is unresponsive. But we need to be able to view these documents when they are added here, which is important. We are going to fix this. I also fix to remove this text of internal load and replace it with something much more meaningful. Let's go here. So now we are going to make changes to the reservations screen. Reservation screen on the itinerary tab switcher. Now when it comes to the cards that are on this screen, these cards are returning a single text which is internal load. Now what we are going to do, we're going to replace this with a functionality. We're going to add logic in the form for users to tag these various cards. Given that it is a screen where they get to map out the things that they have reserved for the clients, let's add tags like fully reserved. Then not reserved. Then add another tab of half reservation. So these tags are going to allow the users to understand how far they have gone in that specific reservations that are under that specific, we call some reservations of that specific trip. So we are supposed to add that to the card, and that is not related to the single entries that we are making. For the single entries, it is single entry items that are under that particular reservation. We should leave them as they are. Also, I've noticed that when we upload a document and we click on the view upload button, it is static under the items. We need to ensure that those documents are accessible when we click on that button, that they open and we view them. If it is a PDF, then it's going to open. If it is an image still, it is supposed to be viewable, open up and viewable, so that you can be able to assess which document was added on a particular entry. So these are the two changes that we're going to make. So as you're making these changes, you're not going to distort any logic that we already have in our app. We're going to add this under the notes section as per our going to add it as per our master prompt that we have in this document and ensure that all the instructions that I've given you are aligned in the best part of the section or layout architecture that is in this prompt. Reproduce this in our implementation plan, then I will be able to proceed with making these changes. The changes that we are trying to make are here. What we're trying to, when you click on this item, you are not able to add anything here. Now, for the case of the email, let me just get a random email. I'm just going to pick any email and I get it and I add it. I'm testing out functionality. Let's pick this. So its link is what I need. Let's go back here. Added that. That means when you click, it's going to open this, which is quite good. Now let's run these commands and then we can look at what we have. After we get the implementation plan, then we can proceed with it effectively. If you've just joined the stream, I'm going to call upon you to please subscribe to this and join our quest of going to vibe code hacks until when we get to a tune of $500,000. And I can assure you that we're going to get through that tune. It's a process, but I believe it's going to be a more wonderful process when you join it and you are part of it. And I believe in this process, you're going to continue to learn to enrich ourselves on how you can be able to vibe code simply. You don't need technical experience to be able to work out and work with these tools, but all you need is the consistency and you showing up and being able to learn on each and every day. Learning and unlearning is part of the process, just like in any other thing. So I believe it is a journey that is going to enrich me as a person as I learn more in the process of explaining and teaching what I know as I do it. And also I believe it's going to also enrich you as a person. So if you love the content that we put out, please subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss out on our vibe coding live streams. So thank you for the subscription. Meanwhile, I'm still waiting for the to complete. We have the implementation plan. Let's proceed. I'm seeing that some changes are being made to the functionality that we wanted. Let's wait for the completion of what it is working on, and then we are going to review those changes effectively. If you have anything that you want us to clarify, please don't hesitate to use the chat. You can use the chat and reach out to us in any way, and we can be able to clarify on anything or clarify on the process of how we are going about these edits. I believe this is a process that is doable for people maybe who are starting out, who have not yet used these tools. It is very doable, but even for the people who are already in the process of developing apps, developing web apps, I believe our kind of approach is something that can teach you a thing or two on how we do it. We have a standardized approach which is quite great, which is great, and you can be able to follow along. We use a master prompt, and that master prompt allows us to attach any request that we have. We modify it so that it fits into our master prompt, and with that, the systematic attempt of solving the problems that we have, or building out functionalities and setting out logic and making refinements, it becomes much more easy. So that is what I will I'm going to tell you. I'm going to include a link to this video of this master prompt. After the completion of the stream, I'm going to include it so that you can use it as a sample, where you can maybe be able to refine the implementation of features in your work using a tool like anti-gravity. Anti-gravity is very good because you're going to get basis of what we want to solve, and we attach it to the master plan. Then the tool itself goes back and rewrites our prompt and puts it into the implementation plan, and after that we are able to proceed, and those implementation plans are very candid. So I want you to look at this that we have. We gave out an instruction. I think it is the sole reason as why it's called vibe coding. We gave out an instruction, and then we told it to embed it, to use our master plan and embed it into our master plan. Our master plan has series of structures. It has the task where someone is going to explain the specific task that we want to solve. Then it has the context. So the context is like the broad context of what we want to solve. So the detailed explanations of what we want to solve. Then it goes into the detailed view of the explanations of what we want to solve. And then after that, we have this element which is called the issue. The issue, it talks about the particular constraint that you have that you want to solve. It's also going to talk about it. Then the request, what do we want? Where do we want it? The state management, whatever. And then the proposed changes, it lays out the proposed changes and the verification of how it is going to verify it. Then it gives us the note. The note has the strict constraints, what it is not supposed to do. Then below that, we have the persona. We want it to perform as a senior front-end engineer with focus on functional reliability and intuitive UI states. Then the format, how it is going to do it. And to me, that kind of approach is much more better, because remember, when you give out an instruction, it's kind of vague. It's yes, you know what you want to solve, but it's kind of vague. But when you attach a master prompt to it, and then it's going to revamp each and everything and put it out in a much more better way, I believe that kind of approach is super to you developing features in a much more better way, logic in a much more better way, being able to work on a certain feature and refine it without distorting what you've worked on earlier. It's a better approach of vibe coding, and that is what we always want you to know. And I believe each session is very different, because we learn a thing that we get to improve, we get to make these changes, and I believe this is going to continue for the people who are following this journey. And I believe it's going to be one of the most beautiful and amazing journeys that we ever get to have access to. So let's check here. One of the elements that we wanted to check, we wanted to add functionalities to these cards so that they can have an element where you get to tag them with the status of the booking status itself. So let's make out one, just
Baby, tell me your last price. I see the way you move for this song. Market people, they shout my name, but I only see your face. My lady, only you. Make we bargain, make we talk. Talk to me. Your matter don't occupy my head, oh. Sun hot for Balogun today. Sweat they run for my skin. I carry my load, I carry my bag. Then I see you for the shade. Silk dress yellow like ripe plantain. You don't even look my side. You just the price they dry fish. I stand there like person we lost. I forget waiting I come by. I forget to. Baby, tell me your last price. I see the way you move for this
let's
song.
click on this one.
Market people they shout my name, but I only see your
Yes,
face.
it's moving, but
My
it's not
lady,
opening.
only you. Make we bargain, make we talk. Talk to me. Your matter don't occupy my head, oh. Mama said, I say customer come. I know you're waiting, she talk. I just dey look your walk. How much for your heart? I get the cash, I get the grace. No be small thing I carry for pocket.
Yes, it has made some changes, but we need to further iterate on them.
Baby, tell me your last price. I see the way you move for this song. Market people that shout my name, but I only see your face, my lady. Only you. Make we bargain, make we talk.
Because for the tags that we requested, we need to be able to edit them. We can't be able to edit them. Also for the
price, no be the issue. Just talk to me. Lagos market too loud, but your voice be like song.
elements that we are clicking on. The email is okay, it works very fine, but for the document, not yet set out. But let's wait for it to complete, and then we can be able to review.
Waiting this up, energy high, all the levels don't change. No be beans, we they fly. We only look at the sky. Burn like fire, no be beans. Everything set, we they win. Lift your hands, touch the top. Feel the heat, never stop. Chop life, giant, we don't arrive. Lock drum, make we come alive. Lock drum, jump, make we come alive. Alive, make we come alive. Money talk, we know they cap. Shake way for heart, we the top. Best say we move fast. Make this feeling always last. Always last. Always last. Burn like fire, no be beans. Everything set, we they win. Lift your hands, touch the top. Feel the heat, never stop. Chop life, giant, we don't arrive. Lock drum, make we come alive. Lock drum, jump, make we come alive. Alive, make we come alive. No be play, we be stone. King of the street on the throne. We body, higher we go. Chop life, giant, we don't arrive. Lock drum, make we come alive. Lock drum, jump, make we come alive. Alive, make we come alive. Your life, we don't arrive. Alive. Everything's soft. And I follow my own leg. No be
Now, when it comes to the functionality of the requested tags, we need to ensure that these requested tags are
See as I dey flow. The fire start to burn deep
editable.
inside.
So we need to make the cards editable so that we can be able to edit and switch. Currently, when I opened up the form where these cards are created from, I wasn't able to view these tags. We need to have a drop down that has a list of these tags. Also, for the functionality of the view upload, we need to ensure that these documents show very well. Currently, when I click on the document, I wasn't able to view that particular
carry my own
requested
now I know where
document. So I wanted that bit so that I can be able to view the documents when I click on that button. We'll look at our implementation plan that we have and be able to add these elements to it so that we can be able to deal with these two functionalities effectively without distorting what we already have that is not related to this request.
Every day, sweet life. No more walking for the dark. We just fly. Everything's soft now. Everything's soft now. Everything's sad. Follow my own leg. No be person lead me go. Like water for the mountain. See as they flow. The fire start to burn deep inside.
Let's wait for these changes to be made.
Start to turn for my side. I'ma see my levels now. Joy come like morning sun. Yeah. We the chop life every day. My race I don't win now. Yeah. Them say I no go make 'em.
So this is
but my spirit ever strong. I carry my own load. Now I know where I belong. The fire start to burn deep inside. The tables start to turn for my side. I'ma
what we
see
have in
my
terms of
levels now.
the breakdown.
Joy come like morning sun. Yeah. We the chop life every day. Yeah. My race I don't win now. Yeah. I find my way. Sweet life every day. Sweet life. No more walking for the dark. We just fly.
So I'm waiting for the refinements to be completed and then we'll go to
Everything said.
review.
Everything said. I follow my own leg. No be person lead me go. Like water for the mountain. See as they flow. The fire start to burn deep inside. The table start to turn for my side. Yeah. I'ma see my levels now. Joy come like morning sun. Yeah. We the chop life every day. Yeah.
I think something was distorted here.
I don't win now. Them tables start to turn for my side. Almost see my levels now. Joy come like morning sun. Yeah. We dey chop life every day. Yeah. My race I don't win now. Yeah. I find my way.
Let's re-implement this, because the changes that we had made earlier, they're not really coming out the way we want them, which is not what we want. What we want is to ensure that
everything's soft now. Everything's set. Everything's set. Everything's set.
let's continue to work on this functionality. What I've noticed is that this form this new bookings form for the itinerary tab, when it comes to the reservation, is supposed to be different from what we have on the board, and that we need to refine that bit of the code. So let me mention it here and we add it. So one of the things that I've noticed is that when it comes to the itinerary tab in the itinerary reservation screen, and when it comes to the new bookings form for this specific screen, is supposed to also be different in as far as the entries that we have below are concerned. Currently, we have the button to add items under the specific entries of cards, but we do not have a button to enter, rather when we switch to this tab, the new bookings form should also be switched to have a brand new form, a different form that allows us to first of all input the details of what we have on those cards. So that is important. I want you to first of all investigate that and then add it to our implementation plan, because it is very important for us to test out and input a new entry, and then we get to see how that entry is populated into this page as a card. So look into it and then add it to our implementation plan. So what I'm trying to change, this button for this specific card. Yes, it works when you go to the board. It works very well, but when we switch on the itinerary and with this new booking, it is supposed to bring a different form that is not this. But with that one, we are trying to switch. The other thing that we are looking at is to ensure that when we click on this button, we can be able to view the uploads that have been added. Also, we need to fix this so that when we say view upload, we can get a pop-up where these uploads are listed, but also we should have an extension of the uploader. We should have an extension of the upload button still, because someone might want to add receipts to a particular entry. We shall also find that. Let's look into this. So let's proceed. Still loading, so let's wait for it to finish up. Let's wait for it to accomplish that new build up. We are making changes because currently we are a screen, but we could not make new entries to it. I think when we made refinements earlier, we had distorted something, so we are trying to rebuild the form, and with that form we shall be able to make new entries. But most importantly, we are going to also review the functionality that when documents are uploaded, they are reviewable. Someone can be able to look at them and review them and know what was paid for, which is quite a better practice of what we have. So if you've just joined us and you've not yet subscribed, I'm going to open to please subscribe to the stream. Subscribe so that you get access, constant access to what we do. This is what we have. And so on. So let's add changes to this new form. So thank you for the creation of the new form, new entry form that you've added to this specific tab, which is quite good. Now, what we need to have on this form is that given that we already have a section where we create itineraries and store them, we are going to be able to get access to these itineraries. We are going to link that in our new form so that we can view them and select a particular trip for which we are making reservations. And then when it is selected, that means in the viewable card, that trip will show its name but also its trip ID. That is one of the functionalities. So we are also going to have tags that we are going to add to this specific that are different, and these tags are going to be set out as below. Reserved. not started.
always up, body move,
So we are going to have the three elements:
no stopping, no
full
higher.
reservation,
We move, always up,
pending reservations, then not started. These are important to allow us track the pool status of this particular trip. So that means that these are different from the ones that we have on the items. The ones that we have on the items, or particular item that is entered on the item form, are going to be maintained as they are, and these ones are new ones to constitute the whole status of that particular trip, because we are going to link the trips that we are going to get from the stored itineraries by the name of the trip and the trip ID, and we ensure that someone can know for which trip they are making these reservations for. So you add that functionality.
always up, no stopping, higher.
So the file that I've referenced is our master prompt structure. I want you to create an implementation plan where our requests will be populated and structured in as far as this structure that we have in the master plan document is concerned. And then after the implementation plan, we are going to proceed with setting up this functionality.
Always up, body move, no stopping, let's rise higher.
Let's review. changes that we've made. Let's add this element to check. I'm going to upload a sample document, one that I so functionality was not set out. We're going to be sure that we set it up very well. But I think the entries were tagged. We need to add an editing button to this. Let's make a few refinements here. Now when it comes to this specific screen, when we make a new entry and the card is displayed, on that card we need to add an edit button. That button is going to allow us to make edits to that specific entry. We need to add that. Also, when it comes to the view upload button and I click on it, which is located in one of the columns under the item, the view upload button redirects, but it does not open this particular file. For the files that we are going to have, we are going to mostly upload PDF files, document files, and also we are going to have images. So that means given that this system is going to be usable using a computer, when that particular document or document file is clicked, if it is a PDF, then it should be able to open up with a PDF reader. If it is maybe a Word document, it should be able to open up with a Word document reader that is in that particular computer. If it is an image, then it should be able to also open up effectively. Now, I've noticed that given that on a particular item we can have different kinds of receipts, we need to add functionality that when we click on that view upload button, it needs to pop out. It needs to show a pop-up which includes the list of the documents that are there, even if it is one document. Then on that pop-up document below it, we need to have the button of upload more documents, because if a document was uploaded earlier during the first entry, which was a single document, then we should be able to upload more documents if we get them that are related to that single entry. Also, when it comes to the making the first entry, when we are adding an item, we need to be able to upload more documents to that single item entry, so that if there are several receipts that are related to that very item, then they are organized very well. Now, for this particular request, I want you to create an implementation plan and organize it to align with the prompt structure that we have in the master prompt document that I've given you. And after that, I'm going to review that, and we can be able to proceed to implement the specific functionality. Hello. Let me hope that now you can get me very well. So now, when it comes to this screen, I'm making variations, because when you look at what we have, we've first of all made changes here, that we are linking the itineraries that we done earlier. We've linked them to this card, where we can be able to make entries under a particular itinerary. The other thing that we've done is that someone can be able to upload a document here. So now what we want a allocation for someone to be able to upload multiple documents. We are adding that functionality. Also, we want these to be viewable by a particular program for which from which they were saved. Someone can save a Word document, so when they click on it, they can be able to view that using Word, PDF, an image. We want them to be viewable. This is a very good practice. If someone makes an entry, then they can be able to track the various receipts of that particular entry, which is something advantageous and good. So the other thing that we are making refinements on, it is to ensure that these documents are viewable in a pop-up. We need to have a pop-up that allows us to get access to them in a much more better way. So Google Anti-Gravity has already laid out an implementation plan. This is our kind of implementation plan with a detailed context. So let's proceed to implement this, and we can be able to review these. So we are fixing the image. We are fixing the upload for this specific screen. Yes, someone asked if the image and the PDF optimizations were fixed. Yes, we fixed them. When we go to the stored itineraries here, actually we fixed them, and we've made refinements to how we even store the images that are uploaded to these itineraries. So this is how the itineraries appear. Let me go back and take you to some of the latest ones that I've made refinements to. This one. So when you click on the image here, export as image, so it's generating the image, and it has been downloaded. Let's go and look at it. So what we wanted them to get aligned very well. And I believe they are aligned when you make the download, which is what we just wanted, and it is set out. So that is what we worked on earlier. Let's first of all review what we've worked on now. We are still getting an error with what we've solved. We are getting a runtime reference error. Let's go and solve this. after the changes that you made, we are still getting this specific error. So as a senior engineer, can you please look into it and debug it without distorting any other logic that we already have set up in our code? So let's also add these problems that we are getting, so that together they can be resolved and we can evaluate.
Baby, tell me your last price. I see the way you move for this song. Market people that shout my name, but I only see your face. My lady, only you. Make we bargain, make we talk. Talk to me. Your matter don't occupy my head, oh. Sun hot for Balogun today. Sweat they run for my skin. I carry my load, I carry my bag. Then I see you for the shade. Silk dress yellow like ripe plantain. You don't even look my side. You just the price, the dry fish. I stand there like person we lost. I forget waiting, I come by. I forget to. Baby, tell me your last price. I see the way you move for this song. Market people they shout my name, but I only see your face. My lady, only you. Make we bargain, make we talk. Talk to me. Your matter don't occupy my head, oh. Mama said I say customer come. I know
So now we fixed it. Let's
I just dey look your walk. How much for your heart?
so now we can be able to edit.
I get the grace, no be small thing I carry for pocket. Wait. I know be debt, I be walker. I pay the price for your love. I pay the price. Baby, tell me your last price. I see the way you move for this song. Market people they shout my name, but I only see your face. My lady, only you.
The edit button has been added.
Make we talk. Talk to me. Your matter don't occupy my head, oh. Price no be the issue. Just talk to me. Lagos market too loud, but your voice be like song. Last price. Yeah.
Let's go back here. There's something I want to look at, which was not implemented.
I follow my own leg. No be person lead me go. Like water for the mountain. See as I they flow. The fire start to burn deep inside. The table start to turn for my side. Yeah. I'ma see my levels now. Joy come like morning sun. Yeah. We dey chop life every day. Yeah. My race I don't win now. Them say I no go make am. But my spirit ever strong. Yeah. I carry my own load. Now I know where I belong. The fire start to burn deep inside. The table start to turn for my side. I'ma see my levels now. Joy come like morning sun.
Now these are the functionalities that we had to implement earlier that were not implemented.
I find my way. Sweet life every day. No more walking for the dark. We just a fly. Everything's soft now. Everything's set. Everything's set. Everything's set.
Below was the implementation plan. Can you please now look into that implementation plan? There are several items, like I mentioned up, that were not implemented for the document management system. Also, when it comes to the entry tab, the tags like full reservation, not started, pending reservation, they are not there. They need to be there on the new entry tab to be selected. They need to be there. Remember, the new entry form has different tags from the single entries that are done below it. So we need to work on that. Redraw a concrete implementation plan to implement what was not implemented in what we requested. Now you need to ensure that this implementation plan follows the structured layout that is in this master prompt, to ensure that it is that everything that or any functionality that was left out, that was not implemented, that we have it in the list, and that everything is explained well and we are able to implement it. Yes, my brother is working on it said he's working on a school website in which the principal, the teachers and parents and students can get access. And the websites have landing pages with different separate pages and different packages. Yes, that's good. Of course, it is a very good practice how you've set it out. I love the way that you've set it out, because if this website has different landing pages and they are able to access various units of the website, then that is viewable, because for the teachers, what they get to view as a layout is different, and for the students, what they view is different, but also the principal is different, which is quite good. You can standardize those elements, and with the e-library, I believe it's also one of the most important components that you've included to it, which is standardized as a layout. The separate access is quite good, because students might want to use it for different activities, maybe get access to the e-library, read a few books and all of that. The teachers, they want to assess maybe a certain assignments that they have given out, and for the principal to be able to manage the activities that are being done by the students, or maybe the progress of the teachers in terms of the modules that they are teaching out, which is a very good layout. So I love what you've done, brother, with that, which is quite good. So let's proceed with these changes that we need to make, because where we need to update the document entry, we need to have access to add multiple documents to a single entry. Then the file compatibility also needs to be worked on. So let's work on these issues. So I love to receive feedback like from our brother that is working on something that is really good, and I believe these are things that are doable, and his approach is good, because it's also the approach I use. Sometimes you are going to identify people who are having challenges in streamlining their work, and when you identify it, then you are going to automate that process. It is what we are simply doing. So the work that these poor companies do, it is most of it is done, the work is done manually. So what we are trying to automate, we are trying to automate this process and ensure that they have each and every element of their work incorporated into a single system, and with that they can be able to follow along. And we have in the comments where someone has said they are building out a school system, that they are integrating all the activities for the teachers, for the principal to be able to track, and for the students to access the e-library. These are some of the automations that are out there. In your community, there are businesses that already have these needs. Reach out to them, talk to them, and let them make these give you the access to what they do, and you can be able to automate that out in a much more better way. So I'm very, very happy with that, and I believe as we go on to make these automations of different kinds of things, it's going to be very easy. I think the thing is to understand the context. Even you might be having, let's say, a few screens, less than 5 screens or less than 10 screens or even more, but when you understand the concept of how you integrate all these, then it becomes very easy. It becomes very easy. And these tools, the good thing is that with Google Anti-Gravity, the tool that I'm working with, it understands the concept of your whole code base, and with that, you are able to make changes effectively that you would want, which is to me a better way of dealing with it. So we are adding something, and I believe it was added. We wanted to add an element of pending reservations here to indicate that if someone is doing these reservations and they are not yet complete, then they are pending. So when we click on pending reservations, this is what you get to see here, pending reservations, which is shows that we don't have any items that are under it. So when we click view breakdown, then we can be able to add items under it. So here we can say maybe game drive, and maybe we put it, we add funds to it. So we can let me try to add different items. Let me try to add different items because what we wanted functionality to add various images. Let me just choose any image here. So let me add this email link. So this email link is good because when someone is corresponding to particular payments that they made, and earlier they made an email to that company corresponding with the payments, so they can add that, or maybe they can add a contact of here. So let's save this entry. So here it's showing view uploads, and it's noting that uploads are 2. So when we click on the pop-up shows us very well, and also we can be able to upload more documents. This is good. Let's try this one here, and we upload another document, something different. Let's yeah, but let's try to open them, which is quite good. When we clicked on this, we were able to open it, which is the document that we added. Then the image, these are the images that we added. So that is good. So this form, mainly it is for allowing these two companies to track payments, because we want them to be able to track their payments that they are making. If they are making out payments for reservation for a certain item, they are able to track that, and the progress is much more better. So that is what why we are adding these items under here. So which is good in terms of refining these reservation. So if let's say it has been fully reserved and we finally made the payment, you can say fully reserved, made payment after, which is changed. And here, if we are having some other pending reservations, then the top of the part is going to show pending reservations, even when some of the items are fully reserved, which is to me a very good and a better practice, particularly here. So we've fixed that. Let's go here. This reservations board on the board here. So the new bookings form, I want us to update the look of this form. Mostly the entries are the accommodation entries and the daily activities, because that they don't look very good. So I've identified this kind of layout as good, which is good. So I'm going to download it. And I'm going to go here and make that refinement. So we are going to refine the new bookings form on the reservation screen on the board tab. Now I've noticed that the layout of items does not look good. So we are not going to refine any functionality, but rather how these items are laid out. Most especially when it comes to items like daily activities and the accommodations and the others. So I've given you a reference screen that has a layout of cards that is beautiful, and my request is that you can be able to organize this form to lay out items in a much more organized way, and ensure that they are visually represented in a much more appealing way that is similar to how the items are laid out in the reference image. So that means we are not changing the logic of the items. We are only tackling the visual layout, which is the user design of how these elements are laid out. So the reference screen, the purpose of providing the reference screen, it is for you to look at the visual layout and be able to refine that visual layout without distorting those items on this particular form. So now what you're going to do as you're working on this, ensure that you're going to structure an implementation plan that is structured in the prompt structure that we have in the file that I've referenced, which is the master prompt file. And after that, we are going to proceed with building out the item. So this is our form. The functionality is okay, but the way the elements are laid out are not appealing at all. So I'm trying to refine the layout. So let's run this. It's going to make a run and look at that form specifically and how the elements are laid out. We need to change it because it doesn't look good. I feel like we can make modifications to it in terms of how it looks. So let's refine it a bit. I normally use reference images because at times these reference images have something that you want to implement in terms of maybe the visual layout or maybe how the items look. It becomes easy to work with that because Gemini has that element of understanding images and elements that you give to it as a reference, and from that you can be able to make refinements and build out something beautiful. So what I want is to first of all look at the implementation plan that it has set out, which is already here. So the task is to refine the visual layout. That is perfect. The context, it has really set out its goal on what it's going to refine. So let's proceed. The plan is solid. Let's proceed and implement that. Let's look at these changes that are being made. I think it's changing the layout, which is quite good.
Waiting this up, energy high. All the levels don't change. No be beans, we they fly. We only look at the sky. Burn like fire, no be beans. Everything sets, we they win.
Let's
Lift your hands, touch
get some
feel the heat, never stop.
and select it here. Yeah, the layout is changing, which is what we wanted.
Of the street on the throne, we're body higher we go.
The form has been edited. Let's look at the accommodations card, because for it was not set up the way we want it.
I follow my own leg, no be person lead me go. Like water for the mountain, see as I flow. The fire start to burn deep inside, the table start to turn for my side. I'ma see my levels now. Joy come like morning sun. Yeah. We the chop life every day. Yeah. My race I don't win now. Yeah. Them say I no go make 'em, but my spirit ever strong. I carry my own load. Now I know where I belong. The fire start to burn deep inside, the table start to turn for my side. I'ma see my levels now. Joy come like morning sun. Yeah. We the chop life every day. Yeah. My race I don't win now. Yeah. I find my way. Sweet life every day. No more walking for the dark. We just a fly. Everything's soft now. Everything's said. Everything's said.
So these are the changes that we are making. These cards have been changed very well, which is amazing. the view is amazing. So what we are trying to change is the layout of these forms above, which is not looking good. I believe it's going to be fixed. So let's go back to what we are working on. Let's allow this, and we continue. We are trying to make refinements to the way our forms look, but particularly the new bookings form under the reservation section. And what we are particularly working on is refining the way these tables look, which is not looking well. Because the tables below look fantastic, but now we need to ensure that the ones for accommodation set out very well to look good. Yeah, there have been refined. Earlier we had tables that were not looking good, but at least these ones are much more better. Someone can be able to map out the various. Actually, they can be able to view the various accommodations that were set out, which is it's much more better. So let's look at how it's finishing up with this work. For the functionality that we wanted, it was sorted. But when we were changing the appearance of our tables, they didn't look professional. We wanted them to adopt a new visual layout, which is much more better. And now that we've made updates to that, it's good. So we're finalizing with the request because earlier it created a temporary file of what we wanted, and then it replaced the files that we had with this temporary file. It's trying to make a cleanup of this particular temporary file that was replaced with the one that we wanted to make changes to. And that is the power of using a tool like Google Anti-Gravity. The context of how it's going to attempt a particular functionality is much more different from how you might think about it, because we were working on this and the way it attempted it, it worked on the faster tabular refinements, but again on the second one it had to use a different kind of approach, which made the whole experience of vibe coding much more different. If you're new and you haven't really subscribed to our stream on YouTube, please subscribe, because when you subscribe you get access to what we do on a daily basis. We are on our road to vibe code until when we are going to hit a tune of $500,000 in terms of funds that will be generated from the different mobile apps and the different web apps that you are building. So if you want to be a part of this journey, if in any way you want to be a part of something that is solid and effective, and on a journey where we are trying to create these products in public, also most importantly trying to create these products that we know are very useful to people who use them, please subscribe and follow the journey. But along the way I believe you're going to learn lots of things, but you're also improving this experience for you on each and every stream that we are going to make to ensure that you have a better experience. So if it is something that you anticipate to have, so please subscribe, and thank you for the subscription. Let's finish up with this one. What we wanted these forms to be refined. And these were refined very well. They have a new look, which is great already. So that means for that section we've made that refinement. We've made that refinement very well. So let's look at this. So this has 7 days, Ngorongoro crater. So let's start this strip here. And go to the tracking section. So let me look at its code first of all. 6864. So let me look at it here. Yeah, the functionality is set out very well. So I think what we are going to work on is to refine the other elements. Now this tracking screen, we have this card, the map card, but we need to refine it so that it can show the specific area of the current clicked trip that is active. So that is something that we need to refine. Let's go here. So now when it comes to the tracking screen, we have the map card. Now when it comes to this map card, what we need to have, we need to be able to track the current location of that specific trip that is being clicked on based on the active trips that we have. So when we click on an active card, it means in that card, the maps card, we are able to view the specific area on that map where this trip is being carried out from. We are going to use logic of an offline map, that's but something that works, something that can be trackable, so that we can be able to add that to our logic. You can use try to find out on the APIs that are free for the maps, or any tool that we can integrate that is free, that can allow us to track the exact location of that specific trip. Now, when it comes to the organization of our prompt, you're going to follow the structure that we have in our master prompt file that I've referenced in this very request. And with that, you're going to draw out an implementation plan of how you're going to implement that card, that maps card, to be active on our tracking screen. And then after me reviewing the implementation plan, then we are going to proceed with the implementation of this specific functionality. So I try as much as possible to exhaust the explanations of what I'm working on, but even when I do that, I have a master prompt here that I've set out. It has certain layers and structures of how each prompt should be. So when I give out instructions, I normally use the text-to-speech functionality. I give the instructions, and then after that I layer it into a plan that is that follows the structure of this master prompt, and that makes the work much more structured, and this saves me much on spending unnecessary tokens on on various refinements that I need to what?
Since waste and I is no bitterness. This distance, this only the warmth, a story well told.
That I need to make.
Still feel the way you held me, like a soft fire against the winter skies. We had to let it go to find our soul. Now I see beauty in the things we knew. Just a simple magic of loving you. These times are only that river flows one, but I can still pull the feel of tighter. We lessons unlearn, the air I breathe. Thinking for the part when you play my life. I still feel the way you held me, like a soft fire against the winter skies. We had to let it go to find our soul. Now I see beauty in the things we knew. I see beauty in the things we knew. Just a simple magic of loving you. Just a sweet memory.
So it's still making refinements, trying to create an implementation plan that we can use.
We move, always up, body move, no stopping, higher. We move, always up, we did rise together. Touch the sun, touch the sun, touch the sun, touch the sun.
So it has laid out an implementation plan. Let's proceed with implementing that.
One people lifting, yeah. Always up, no stopping, higher. person lead me go. Like water for the mountain, see as I they flow. The fire start to burn deep inside. The tables start to turn for my side. I'ma see my levels now. Joy come like morning sun. Yeah. We the chop life every day. My race I don't win now. Yeah. Them say I no go make 'em, but my spirit ever strong. I carry my own load. Now I know where I belong. The fire start to burn deep inside. The tables start to turn for my side. I'ma see my levels now. Joy come like morning sun. Yeah. We
So let's continue with set out.
I follow my own leg. No be person lead me go. Like water for the mountain, see as I they flow. The fire start to burn deep inside. The table start to turn for my side. Yeah. I'ma see my levels now. just a fly. Everything's soft now. Everything's sad. Everything's sad. Everything's sad. Baby, tell me your last price. I see the way you move for this song. Market people, they shout my name, oh.
The model.
Make we bargain, make we talk. Talk to me. Your matter don't occupy my head, oh. Sun hot for Balogun today. Sweat they run for my skin. I carry my load, I carry my bag. Then I see you for the shade. Silk dress yellow like ripe plantain. You fine. Don't even look my side, just the price, the dry fish. I stand there like person we lost. I forget waiting, I come by. I forget, oh. Baby, tell me your last price. I see the way you move for this song. Market people, they shout my name, oh. But I only see your face, my lady. Only you. Make we bargain, make we talk. Talk to me. Your matter don't occupy my head, oh. Mama said, I say customer come. I know you're waiting, she talk. I just they look your walk. How much for your heart? I get the cash, I get the grace. No be small thing I carry for pocket. Wait. I know be dead, I'll be walker. I pay the price for your love, I pay the price. Baby, tell me your last price. I see the way you move for this song. Market people, they shout my name, oh. But I only see your face, my lady. Only you. Make we bargain, make we talk. Talk to me. Your matter don't occupy my head, oh. Price no be the issue. Just talk to me. Lagos market too loud, but your voice be like song. Last price. Yeah.
Baby, tell me your last price. I see the way you move for this song. Market people, they shout my name, but I only see your face, my lady. Only you talk to me. Your matter don't occupy my head, oh. Sun hot for Balogun today. Sweat they run for my skin. I carry my load, I carry my bag. Then I see you for the shade. Silk dress yellow like ripe plantain. You don't even look my side. You just the price, the dry fish. I stand there like person we lost. I forget waiting, I come by. I forget, oh. Baby, tell me your last price. I see the way you move for this song. Market people, they shout my name, but I only see your face, my lady. Only you. Make we bargain, make we talk. Talk to me. Your matter don't occupy my head, oh. Mama said, I say customer come. I know you're waiting, she talk. I just they look your walk. How much for your heart? I get the cash, I get the grace. No be small thing I carry for pocket. Wait. I know be dead, I be walker. I pay the price for your love. I pay the price. Baby, tell me your last price. I see the way you move for this song. Just talk to me. Lagos market too loud, but your voice be like song. Last price, last price.